Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I as a contractor appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
And good afternoon, everyone. Happy Thursday. My name is meteorologist Heather Kane. It's time for our daily hail forecast. Woo! We got to thank our sponsors first. We got the C3 Group as well as the Merlin Law Group and American Contractor. Thank you guys, as always, for sponsoring our videos. So we do have a few areas that we're going to be watching for severe weather today. Both hail and wind are possible. In Minneapolis, you may have a chance to see some of that activity later on this evening, so we'll talk about that. And then as we get into tomorrow, we do have a few areas of marginal chances that we will take a look at. And then of course, it's that time of the year we're going to be talking about the tropics. It looks like things are finally starting to heat up a little bit, so we will take a look at that as well. So before we jump into our hail forecast, we do have a few events coming up. The International Roofing Expo is less than a week away. It's going to be in Las Vegas. We're going to be at booth 3355. There was, I don't know what was going on. It was 837. Now it's 3355. And that's going to be from the 10th to the 12th. So if you're going to the IRE, make sure you swing by our booth and come say hi to us. And speaking of the IRE, Derek, I believe, is doing a talk at 2 p.m. on August 10th at our booth. And it's basically all weather and roof things. So if you're there and you're interested in any of this wonderful fun stuff, make sure you come by our booth at 2 p.m. on August 10th. Again, our booth is 3355. And lastly, this is a really cool event. This is still a little over a month away. This is called the Thunder Road Race for Recovery. It's just down the road in Norman, Oklahoma. And this is at the Oklahoma Motorsports Complex. You're guaranteed 2 races. We're going to have food trucks and music, and all of the proceeds for this event are going to go to roofers in recovery. So basically roofers that are recovering from all types of addictions. So this is a really cool event. We're really excited about this. So if you're interested in this event and participating in any way, the link for this event is below in the description. So here are yesterday's storm reports. Not a whole lot of activity, just a few scattered reports here and there. A lot of them were below severe limits, but there were a few reports down in Florida, from Tampa down into Miami. A few scattered reports here in West Virginia and near the Ohio-West Virginia border. And then a few scattered reports here and there in the Pacific Northwest into Wyoming and parts of Nebraska. So yeah, let's take a look at our counts. I know you guys already know what's coming. We had 5 large hail reports yesterday. We didn't see any tornado reports. We had 8 high wind reports, and totaling up what we've been seeing since January 1st, we're still sitting at 741 tornado reports, 4,288 large hail reports, and a few over 11,500 high wind reports. And yep, this is what's been coming. You guys already know the deal. We're not even close to what we have seen at this time last year. So here are our current conditions. We do have some showers across Minnesota down into Iowa and central Missouri, and some leftover showers along this trailing cold front in southeastern Georgia and Florida, and that stretches all the way up into parts of Maine, and then some more shower activity down into southern parts of Texas as well as in the Northwest. So we're going to zoom into a few parts of the country here. First, the Northwest. Again, some showers across Idaho as well as into parts of Oregon, and some scattered showers as well as, in parts of Montana. And this is Area 1 that we'll be watching for severe weather this afternoon and this evening. Area 2 is going to be right down in, well, I can't say it, Minnesota into Wisconsin down into Iowa. You can see a little bit of a spin here. This is Area 2 that we'll be watching for severe weather. I mentioned at the beginning that Minneapolis does have a small chance to see severe weather today, and so that's why I'm zooming into this part of the country. So let's take a look at our temperature. It's a toasty 90 degrees down in Miami, a little bit cooler though as we get into the northeast part of the U.S., only 76 in New York City. Otherwise, pretty comfortable, anywhere from the mid to upper 70s to lower 80s for most of the U.S. It's a little bit cooler though, as expected, across the western part of the U.S. It's 70 right now in Los Angeles and 71 in Portland. And our dew points, still pretty comfortable out there. It's a little bit stickier compared to this time yesterday, but still a pretty decent 57-degree dew point in St. Louis. A lot stickier though as you go further south. 65-degree dew point in Atlanta, and a very uncomfortable 77-degree dew point in Miami, but it gets a lot more comfortable as you head to the western part of the U.S. where dew points are in the 40s, and it's a little bit stickier along the western coast, but still not too bad. So here is our future radar for the Pacific Northwest. Few showers again occurring right now, and as we get into later on this afternoon around 5 p.m. Central Time, so 3 p.m. Pacific Time, we are expecting some more shower and thunderstorm development with that heating of the day. And then as we get near sunset here in the Central Plains, so 7 p.m. in the Pacific time zone, more shower and thunderstorm activity is expected to fire up. And then as we get into the overnight hours, you can see as we lose that heating of the day, that shower and thunderstorm activity is expected to dissipate. And now heading to the other risk area for today, I did mention Minneapolis. Now it's pretty quiet, just a few showers going on right now, but as we get into later on this afternoon, you can see some thunderstorm development is expected near the Canadian-U.S. border in northeastern parts of Minnesota. And then as we get later on into the afternoon, this is at 8 p.m. This is when we have to watch Minneapolis to see if we can get lucky and see if Minneapolis can get a storm roll on through. And then as we get through the rest of the evening, this activity will continue to move to the east-southeast and cross into parts of northwestern Wisconsin, and that is that. And so for today, we do have those two areas that we're watching for severe weather. Up to $half size hail is possible. I think for this western one, that's going to be up to quarter size hail. So anywhere from Pendleton to Boise to Butte, Montana, you have a chance to see up to quarter-size hail with those strongest storms, and then up to, I think, half-dollar size hail is possible for the eastern risk from Duluth down to Minneapolis. So start doing those hail dances, you guys. And then for the wind, same deal. I think up to 60-mile-per-hour gusts are possible for both of these areas. So yeah, basically same deal from Pendleton to Boise, northward to Butte, Montana, and then again from Duluth down to Minneapolis and crossing into the northern parts of Iowa. And so let's take a look at our future jet stream. Like we've been seeing, that jet stream is way up into Canada, and so we are just baking here for the most part here in the middle of the country. As we get into tomorrow, you can see we do have another little short wave that we're going to be watching. This is the one that's going to be bringing some, or that is bringing activity into the northwest. That will be moving on to the east tomorrow, bringing some severe weather into the northern plains. And then this is the one that is causing, or potentially going to be causing, that severe weather today. That's going to be moving on to the east as well. As we get into Saturday, we still got to keep an eye on this little short wave here. We could see a little bit more activity, and Minneapolis, you may have another shot to see severe weather on Saturday. So again, start doing those hail dances, you guys, and you can see that short wave is going to potentially strengthen a little bit, hence why we're going to be watching them here in Minneapolis. And then getting into Sunday, it's going to continue to move on to the east as well. And then there's another little dip in the jet stream that we have to watch as we get into the beginning of next week. So here is our future radar for tomorrow. Quiet as we begin the early morning activity. Just some across southern parts of Montana. That's what's expected. And then as we get into the afternoon hours, you can see some more shower activity is expected to develop. Getting later on into the afternoon and evening, we got to keep an eye on areas such as Rapid City and parts of northern Wyoming, and getting into North Dakota. I think for the most part should be pretty rural, but again, Rapid City, we need to watch for severe weather tomorrow afternoon into the evening. And then getting into the overnight, that activity could potentially get into the central part of South Dakota, and then start to die off a little bit as we get into the overnight hours and into daybreak on, let's see, I gotta think of my days here, on Saturday morning. And then this is another area that we're watching. You can see Chicago, we could potentially see some severe weather, marginal, but it's still there for tomorrow. This is at daybreak. Again, some thunderstorms may already be occurring, and then getting into the noon hour, those storms that potentially may affect Chicago tomorrow morning should move off to the east, but keep an eye on southern Wisconsin as well as central Illinois here. You can see some storms are expected to develop later on tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours, so we do have to keep an eye on areas such as Chicago, northward to Milwaukee and Madison for some more severe storm activity as we get into tomorrow afternoon. And then getting into the hours, some marginal activity may be possible in my home state of Michigan. So yeah, it could start to get a little bit busy here. We've been pretty quiet, and a few major cities may be affected by severe weather, so stay tuned. So this is tomorrow's activity. Again, just two areas of marginal chances for hail. Up to $half size hail is possible tomorrow from Sheridan northward to Dickinson, North Dakota, and Rapid City, South Dakota, my old stomping grounds for grad school. Again, up to $half size hail there for tomorrow afternoon is possible. And then a second area that we'll be watching with that disturbance that could affect Minneapolis today, from Madison down to Chicago as well as Davenport, up to $half size hail is possible for you guys tomorrow afternoon. And same deal for the wind. I think up to 60-mile-per-hour gusts are possible from Sheridan northward to Dickinson and then southward to Rapid City, South Dakota, and then secondly for parts of Wisconsin down to Davenport, Iowa, eastward to as potentially as far east as Chicago. So yeah, like I said, it's going to be potentially active. And then as we get into Saturday, that system that's going to be affecting parts of the Dakotas tomorrow as well as Wyoming will move on to the east. So this is a pretty big area. It's not, as of right now, not a really big widespread deal. This is anywhere from marginal to a slight risk. So we're still a few days out, but a chance for severe weather is possible. Yes, we do map hail, and not wind, just hail in Canada. So Winnipeg, you could see severe weather on Saturday, and these chances for severe weather stretches very far south, all the way down to the Oklahoma, Texas panhandle border. So again, we're still a few days out, you guys, so a lot can change. So make sure you stay tuned to Hail Trace for any of those changes. Now, lastly, we are going to check in on the tropics. Those two systems that we talked about yesterday still have chances to develop. This is the first, and as you can see here, if I move out of the way, within the next 2 days, we have a 20% chance for development, but within the next 5 days, we have a 68% chance of development. So we really got to watch this system very carefully. And then the second one closer to home, a little bit better of a chance of development. Nothing within the next 2 days, but within the next 5 days, we could see a 20% chance that this could turn into something. So it's that time of the year, you guys. We're starting to get closer to more activity in terms of climatology of things developing. So any of these two systems or any more systems in the Atlantic, we need to watch very carefully for future development. So speaking of storms, if either of these two decide to turn into something, Fred is the next storm on the list, followed by Grace. I thought I would check in with those names for you. So that's all I have for you today. Make sure, if you haven't already, that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and or YouTube. And if you have any questions, concerns, or you just want to say hi, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com and check out our website at www.hailtrace.com, where we have more information about our products as well as some bios about all of us. And yeah, please feel free to reach out if you need any help. That's what we're here to do. And I am meteorologist Heather Kay. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday.